Hello, good morning. Ay, good afternoon na pala. Alright, so good afternoon everyone, lalo na sa ating mga MSMEs. So right now we will be having our webinar targeting our MSMEs dahil alam naman natin na isa ang ating mga MSMEs na tinamaan nitong nangyaring COVID-19 pandemic. Currently, we are experiencing one of the toughest time in our history, the COVID-19 pandemic that hardly hit almost every one of us. In these trying times, our main concern is how to recover as quickly as possible. That is also the same concern of our businessmen, our MSMEs. History has shown that businesses who invest in planning, strategy, and marketing during tough times recover quicker and stronger. They create better market awareness and trust that can soften the bumps of a downturn and create critical velocity to achieve a compelling recovery. Are you doing everything you can in your business to be resilient in these tough times? Now allow us here in PTTC to help you. So this webinar will provide information about what entrepreneurs can do while on lockdown, review of current strategies and marketing plans, provide guidance, what's next for the business, and show best practices to implement. So later on, i-introduce namin ang ating speaker, of course, from Australia. So in the meantime, to give us his opening remarks, may we call on our Executive Director of DTI Philippine Trade Training Center Global MSME, Mr. Nestor P. Palabiab.
Cue nyo ako pag ako na. Magandang hapon, friends from the business community and those who want to learn this afternoon. So, the COVID phenomenon, no? Hindi natin inaasahan mangyari, but andyan na yan. So, this is a test not only for all our health workers and those people who are confronting this health issue. Kasi one of the things we have to do is to really capitalize paano natin malalampasan ang patawiran ang gantong klaseng sitwasyon. Walang surefire formula at this point, but it helps with a positive and winning attitude. And ngayong hapon, it might be of help to you to source some ideas and perhaps face your issues with greater confidence, with greater ease, and with the resolve to really succeed. Kasi dami na naman pinagdaanan ng mga Pilipino Typhoon Yolanda, and nangyari na sa atin na history are so many disasters. This just one more. But the one thing is for sure, lahat yan pagdadaanan and it soon will pass. But imbes na magbakasyon tayo sa area ng problema, we all have to gear up, prepare to survive, recover, and be resilient. Because ngayon, ngayon para mangyayari, ang matira ang matibay, at ang matibay ay yayabong at lalago. At lahat tayo dapat nag-aim for that, na lumago ang ating negosyo pagka-recover natin. And this afternoon, we're very lucky, we have a resource person who will tell you how to do that on practical terms. Hindi lang pampalakas ng loob, but yung mga practical things, how to do that. So, I hope you do take down notes and feel free to watch the replay kung kailangan nyo balik-balikan at inamnamin nyo ang makukuha ng aral ngayong hapon. Apply nyo sa negosyo nyo. Tandaan nyo, lahat tayo nagsusumikap manalo. At ang nagwawagi ay hindi nakikwit. So just move on, let's fight on, and let's shine, and let's overcome whatever challenges come our way. So magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Ayan, so muli gusto lang nating pasalamatan ng ating Executive Director from the Philippine Trade Training Center, Mr. Nestor Palabiab, for that opening remarks. So tama naman po talaga yung sinasabi ni Sir Nestor na sa panahon ngayon talagang kailangan nating bumangon. Of course, kahit tayo nadapa, kailangan nating bumangon pa rin. And this time, to introduce naman ang ang next nating magsasalita, ang OIC Assistant Division Chief ng Business Management Training Services Division ng Philippine Trade Training Center para bigyan tayo ng objective at ipakilala rin ang ating guest speaker for today. May we have Ms. Giselle K. Sunga.
Hello. Okay. Hi, Bon.
Yes, hello, ma'am.
Hi, Bon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, Sir Nestor,
Yeah.
thank you po for the opening remarks.
Ayan.
Okay,
Welcome daw po.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen who are watching and listening right now. And of course, to our MSMEs, the micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs. We have conducted several webinars in the last few weeks, and I'm sure some of you have attended those sessions also. Salamat po sa ating mga regular na nakikinig, regular na nanonood. In short, Tagalog, salamat po sa ating mga suki. Okay. So, and for those who will be attending here the first time, welcome po in our webinar. And I'm sure you will have a lot of takeaways after the session. We hope that you will apply your learnings, share it with your staff, and hopefully improve your businesses. The main objective po of this webinar really is to help you in this pandemic time. Okay, so of course, ang ating expected outcome is to think our MSMEs or our startup, micro, small, medium entrepreneurs to think and come up with a solid execution strategy for their businesses during and after the GCQ lockdown. And I'm sure everybody's excited with our lecture today. So I will not keep you waiting. Actually, our speaker, as mentioned by Bon, is in Australia right now. So sabi ko nga sa kanya, sana minsan mabisita naman natin siya doon. Would you agree? Kung siya nasa Australia, pag wala ng pandemic, pupunta naman tayo doon. Okay po ba mga MSME? Tayo naman ang pupunta sa Australia, di ba? Makapag-travel man lang. Okay. Okay, so for our speaker, she is a graduate of Ateneo de Manila University, MBA Graduate School. She is also the founder and CEO of LeadWorks Business Solutions and Vice President for Australian Council for Multicultural Entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to introduce our speaker, Ms. Jasmine Flores.
Thank you very, very much, Giselle. Thank you, PTTC. Thank you, Director. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very, very happy to be a part of this transition seminar webinar for everybody. And salamat sa lahat ng nag-register. I will try my best to really share with you the best I can and achieve this seminar objective. So let me share my screen to get things started. And feel free to write notes. And I'm sure we will send you some materials that will be really useful for everybody. And also, we have worksheets and homework to take home. Kasi syempre, ang key ng seminar is not just to listen, but also for us to execute what we learn and implement what we've learned, yeah? So, let me start sharing my screen. And yes, I'm here in Melbourne, Australia, but I'm very, very passionate to really help SMEs. We've been I've been in business groups here as well. And ako rin, I have my small business also here in Australia. So I know what it's like. I know exactly what we're all going through at the moment. So it's very important to know and use this time, especially how we can cope and keep up and get through these tough times. So in saying that, let's start. So it's good timing, no? It's empowering MSME. It's our road to recovery. And before I start anything, I'd like to take you and I'd like to do one exercise. Close your eyes and go back to the time, to this specific time. It was December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2019. Bago tayo mag-cross over to New Year, diba? So nung time na yon, as a business owner, ang perspective mo, di ba? It's new year, it's new decade. You want to really get started. You have a lot of plans in place for your people, for your business, for your brand, for financial plan, everything. And you want that to really execute. First quarter, second quarter, you have that. Kasi tayo business people, I would like to believe, di ba? Ang mindset natin, ganyan, lalo na pag New Year. I know what it's like, and this is my year. This is gonna be a big, big transition year for me. So I'd like you to go back to that time and recall that moment. Kasi we will need that We will need to go back to that momentum right now. And then, pumasok ang New Year. And we're ready. Pumasok yung first working day of the year. And we're ready. We have a staff meeting. We have our goals for the year. We have our new planner. We have our calendars ready for the year. 10 weeks after we got hit by this pandemic. So what happened? Lahat ng hindi natin inaasahan nangyari. The government told us we have to lock down, we have to close our offices, our warehouses, stop our orders, and then full stop. It got hit on us, yeah, as a business, as an individual, as family members, as employers, and as bosses, as employees. So, gusto kong balikan nyo yung time na New Year's Day, first working day of the year. And then yung momentum na yun ang gamitin natin na ibalik natin right now after this seminar. Okay, what I'll do now after this. Okay. So at the end of this, we have a goal to achieve. For this seminar, it will take us to stop and think, where are you now? Anong nagawa mo? How did you respond as a business owner, as an SME? And what do you want? Where do you want your business to be after this pandemic? Where do you want to take it? And then, ano yung mga ginagawa mong practices sa operations, sa marketing, and even in your financials? What are you currently doing right now to address your concerns, the pressing and the piling up concerns? And what's next? What's next? What is your massive immediate action? So at this point, I'd like to show you a quick video about resilience. So can we play the video? Thank you very, very much. So nakita natin sa video, the key is resilience. Despite as what Director Nestor said, despite what happened, we had pandemic, and in the Philippines, even worse because we have the typhoons, we had the volcanic eruption prior to this, so we've been through a lot. But this one hit us quite hard, yeah, kasi hindi lang siya financial impact, meron siyang health impact, meron siyang economic impact sa atin. And then of course, part of it as entrepreneurs, we worry. We worry about what's next, diba? And that's the reason why and I really appreciate you value investing on your time, investing on yourself, and getting focused on this, on taking a seminar on what to do next. So what is a roadmap to recovery? Yeah. So I've just simplified it here in a simple step, pero action driven. So first we respond, we survive, nangyari, we respond. Then, anong gagawin mo next? Kailangan makarecover ka muna. You make a decision, if this, I need to get through this. You survive. Then, whatever you've been through, you stabilize, then you recover, and then you grow from there. So how do we do that? Respond. So, nasan ka ngayon? We were talking about pre-pandemic, bago pumasok ang taon, 10 weeks before the pandemic, you had goals, you had plans, 2020, you had business plans in place, you have new marketing plans in place, you have new people on board, you have reviewed your business practices, all good, best case scenario, pre-pandemic. 10 weeks after nga, pumasok ito, na lockdown tayong lahat. Hindi lang kayo, lahat tayo sa buong mundo na apektuhan, lahat ng supply chain, lahat ng airlines, lahat, literally lahat ng industry nagkaroon ng effect itong pandemic na to. And no one saw this coming. Anong nangyari? Anong na-surprise ka sa sarili mo as business owner and sa business mo? This is the time you go back and reflect what transpired then and how did you respond. Kasi this was a test for all of us as business owners. How efficient were your systems? Were your backup systems? Or did you have a backup systems? How efficient are your team? How efficient ba yung supply chain mo or operations mo? Or yung social media mo, yung marketing mo, how did you communicate to your customers and suppliers? Paano mo hinandle yung mga staff mo? Paano mo ni-respond yung mga customer inquiries mo during the lockdown? So these are the series of events that happened to us. And now, as we do this, almost 8 weeks after, what happened and what will happen next? Now, during that period, or even now, as we go through this GCQ na, what can we do so that we can respond? Go back, ito yung mga suggestions na very practical. And we're gonna guide you through this after this. May worksheet tayo that you can take home and go through. So you go back and review everything about your business. Why you even started your business? What was your objective? And was this really the business for you? Because do you have time? This pandemic, everyone gave us the value of time. And now is also the very best time to review your financials, not just your business financials, but your personal financials. Now is the only and the best time to do it because it will be an eye opener for you. If you can't understand how financial reports work, now is also the best time to learn to understand it. Work with your accountant, your bookkeeper, your staff, your accounting staff, how to actually read your financial reports. Avail of anything that's free. A lot of companies right now online, even of course PTTC is providing us all these support, anything that's free, software, subscription, webinars, memberships, and online tools. And that takes a lot of time and homework to do what you want to achieve, what you can use in your businesses. And yeah, training and free webinar to enrich your skills. As I said, if wala kang masyadong confidence in reading financial reports or social media marketing, there are a lot right now that's free online. Invest on yourself. And as I said, sanity check kasi tayo, we're worried. We worry about what's next. And as business owners, we have a moral and legal responsibility as well to all our employees. And we worry about that too, and our families and our shareholders. So it's also a good time to stop and think about your health, your physical health, your mental health, and your financial health, and reassess your goals. We call this self audit. Just reassess yourself as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Is this the right direction for me, or is this did I do the right decision, or is this the right industry for me, right business for me? And more than that, what are the areas that you can improve as a business owner, as a boss, as an employee, if you are also employed at the same time, and as a business partner? So all those things can really help you these times, and come up with something new. A lot of people are, and as you can see in all social media, everyone's learning new skills. And also as business people, as business owners, we got to challenge ourselves na this is the time to plan and come up with something new in our businesses, whether that's a byproduct of our business, an idea, a strategy, a new service, or even a new business. Kasi nag-evolve yung business mo. You remember stories of some distilleries who came out during these tough times na they're now producing hand sanitizers because they have to evolve from the industry, from the business. So that's how we respond. Now, to get through that and to be able to survive in this situation, what do we do then? In relation to what we could have done or what we should be doing, a very critical element in any business, small, new, micro, multinational, is the financial. Financial plays a very, very big role kasi that runs the whole business, diba? A lot of this, a lot of the things that affect business owners' decisions is the financial information, and I've highlighted and emphasized that earlier. Um, don't let this period pass without reviewing your financials. And some of the strategies that you can do in the business right now, financial in nature, um, have a look at your payables. Pay off if you can, if you are in a position. Pay off some loans and cards to reduce the interest. These are just little strategies, but will give you a better cash flow. If, again, if you are in a financial position. And this one is very crucial also. Be cautious in extending credit terms. Everyone's in a tight position. Everyone will maximize the terms. So, ito na yung chance na reviewin mo yung credit terms mo sa lahat, sa lahat ng customers mo, and your negotiation with your suppliers. And most importantly, start collecting. Now lines are open, some businesses are open, banks are open. Start looking at your cash flow. Do a cash flow projection, not just short term but long term. Reduce your operating expenses and cut unnecessary expenses. Minsan we have this where we all of us have a lot of unnecessary expenses, and now is really the time na isa-isahin mo yung profit and loss, P&L mo, ano yung mga operating expense that's non-recurring, that's non-essential, not necessary in your operations, or make comparisons, ask for quotations from other providers and suppliers. Example, sa logistics companies, you can probably look at other provider. even your website host, if you're paying too much, all the little things, now is really the time, and cut it out. Little dollar or peso helps a lot in cutting out and improving your bottom line. But it's also not recommendable to buy any capex or capital expense at this point, at least on the immediate. Maximize muna what you have and make revenue out of it, except if you are getting into a new or extension of the business and it will generate revenue a lot. Now, and if you have any extra excess and you can afford, do an investment, take the risk. That's who we are. We are business owner. We have to take the risk. Take a risk, invest in long term. This is just a suggestion, but that is, of course, you still know what's your calculated risk, right? Calculated risk. And because everyone is really offering an all-time low of anything like stocks and even businesses or selling businesses, so it's a good time to see what's out there. And also, it's worth mentioning that if your business is badly hit by this crisis, take a closer look. And I said this before, and I'll emphasize this again. Take a closer look at and overhaul your system and consider and consider a transformation of your business. If you're only selling in a retail shop, maybe consider selling online. And if you're only doing one product line, maybe add another product line, or even consider the whole profitability of the business as a whole. And lastly, look for other revenue stream. If you can, and you never know, later on we'll touch on that. There are opportunities that's gonna come out in most businesses right now. So it's being out there, keep looking, and keep finding opportunities for you. Okay. So marketing naman. So we've touched on financial kasi very quick. That will run us. That will keep the vehicle going. Now, marketing is different from sales. Marketing is our brand, and this is who the business really is. Now is the time to review your brand, and rebrand if necessary, or better yet, upscale your brand. Meaning, pag alam mo na kung sino talaga yung gusto mong i-position sa business mo or what your brand really is, it's time, or if you want to rebrand, it's time to do it and upscale it. Identify your market and then target it. One big thing that has changed, and you all know this, and everyone is into this, and I really tell you, whatever kind of business you are, you have to be in this social media. Whether you're a professional services, a cafe, online seller, importer, food industry, logistics industry, all the more, fashion, all the more, you have to be on social media. And not just Facebook, not just Instagram. There are now really a whole lot of platform available there that's supporting businesses, especially us, small businesses. And it's free, and it's got a wide reach, especially if you know how to do it. I've just mentioned here some. We have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn for professional connections, Google My Business. This is also free. People will just type your name on Google and Maps, and you will come out with all your details, working hours, how to order, book online. Twitter, TikTok is also very popular, especially kung ang market mo is yung millennials, and especially if you have or the household, B2C, business to consumers. Yeah, it's quite popular now. And also YouTube. Have a YouTube channel. Even if you're like just a cafe, how to make a coffee, how to make a pandesal, and put a video, upload it, share it, and you get people following you. That's really, really important now, because it has to be visual and has to speak about who you are, who your brand is to your target market. And marketing also, it's important now for you to contact now. Make sure before you go back to what the new normal will be, make sure you contact all of your customer or clients, as in everyone. Hello, kamusta po? We're still operating or we are back in operations on Monday. And let me know how can I help. Let me know if there are any further orders or if you have if B2C consumers ang market mo. Touch base with them, like their pages, connect with them again and build a relationship. It's now the perfect time to do that. Sales tactical plan. As I said, sales is a part of marketing. Um, Based on the financial goals you have set and you've reviewed earlier, ano ba yung revenue goal mo? For the next short term lang, 6 to 8 weeks, tignan mo lang muna. Next 2 months, next 3 months, ano bang gagawin ko? Ano bang goal ko? Maka-reach lang ako ng break-even point. Okay na ako. Meaning, the business sustains itself. Pays for the rent, pays the employees, pays for operating costs, pays for the cost of sales. So just make sure you are really aware of that now. What is your financial, what is your sales revenue goal for the next 6 to 8 to 12 weeks? And with this, you translate that to an actual pipeline of sales. How many customers do you need to contact to achieve this sales target? So, say for example, you're in the fashion industry and you're doing jewelry and you want to challenge yourself to achieve 100 orders in the next 8 weeks. How do you achieve that? Each order would be an average of 500 or 1,000 pesos. I don't know, depends on your market. So, how do we achieve that? Sorry, that moved. So how do you achieve that? Ilista mo how many customers you need to or target you need to contact. Ito, nag-order sa akin 300 and so on. So that translates. But my conversion rate is only 50%. So you have to double your target. And that this will guide you, your salespeople, your business partner in setting your goal, your financial goal, your revenue goal. And make it realistic. Make it achievable for all of you and your business partner and your team so that you won't be demotivated if you don't achieve it, or you'll challenge yourself. If you overachieve it, challenge it next 8 weeks, next 10 weeks, make it higher. This one I like very well. It worked. It always work. Recycle the old leads, activate your inactive leads. Talk to your clients who you've lost for whatever reason, and everyone's going through the same. So you just touch base. Hi, hello, we're still operating. We're still doing the same business, but our services have improved. Maybe we can touch base, catch up again, and see if there's a way we can do business again. A simple communication like that can go a long way. You can get a reorder. You can do more, probably more, get a contract out of it. And most importantly, to convert it, you follow up. Kasi minsan, one phone call isn't enough. You negotiate, you submit a proposal, and you make a follow-up. And we get this. We get this all the time also from provider, utility provider, diba? We get follow-up calls. And salespeople are good in doing that. But tayo as business owners, we want to be on top. We want to be on top of our targets of our customers. So we follow up, and that converts to sales. So I put dollar figure. It's supposed to be peso. Pero that converts to sales easily. So again, it has to be right now where we all are, has to be short term, has to be realistic, has to be something that you know your team can achieve and your brand can, and you have to believe in it. You have to really put effort in doing it, and you integrate your brand message. What I'm saying is, when you do a Facebook ad, or you do an Instagram video, you have to integrate it as well in all your social media platforms, in your website, in your collaterals. So people can recall, your customers can recall what's your corporate value, what's your message from that campaign, so that it can easily be understood and target the market and convert into a sale. So I'll give you an example. Ito, a lot of us, or some of us who doesn't practice the marketing very well or is unsure, we position ourselves as an Apple. Minsan, or um, minsan sa services company, consultancy. Pero in fact, construction company ka pala. Pag binuksan mo, orange. So, confused yung customer mo. And that's the message that's trying. And now is the time to really know if you're an apple or an orange. Yun yung that's the message we're trying to clarify here. Make sure by Monday, and I challenge you all, by Monday, alam mo na, I really am an apple. I really am an orange. So I will do it. I will execute it according to that. That makes sense, yeah? And stabilize. So as I've been saying, now is the perfect only time to do stop and think and press the reset button. How do we do that? And where do we focus? Of the many things, diba? We know we know where we were pre-pandemic. We know what we wanted to do, and then that happened, and we know what is the post-pandemic outcome: financially, marketing, operations, business, personal, business owner. Now we know all those information, and we have an immediate solution to this and that: operations, marketing, financial again. Now, how do we position? How do we see our market? How do we convert that in a marketing perspective, in a sales tactical approach now? So, three components here. What your business rocks at, meaning saan ka magaling? What your customer wants, ano bang gusto ng market mo? And what your competition wants, or is good at, or rocks at. Before you even do this, you have to do the exercise I told you before. Yeah, financial and marketing. Because you can't do this if you're not sure who you really are again. So you're now at this point, now you know if you're an apple or an orange. Now, and you have to know where you're good at and what your customers want. What your competition is good at also. So doing your homework is necessary. So I'll just display this. So what this is saying is, kung saan ka magaling at magaling din yung competition mo, pero hindi siya gusto ng customers, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant. Pero kung saan ka magaling at what the customer wants, and dun din magaling ang competition mo, direct competitor, that's your war zone. Now, the problem is, if this is what your customer wants and this is what your competition is really good at, and you don't even have a slice of it, that's your death zone. You're out in the market. So it's important for you to not just know your business and your customers, so you know what your competition is really good at too. And that's where kukuha kayo lahat dyan sa slice na yan. But when you're on top of it and your strategy is direct in execution, integrated and targeted, that's your bank zone is. That's where you make profit. That's when you convert. Kasi na-hit mo eh. Magaling ka doon, focus ka doon. And yun mismo yung gusto ng customer mo. And wala nun si competition mo. You sell online, you have returns. Competition doesn't offer that. That's what the customer wants, and you got it. You don't sell online, customer wants that. and competition doesn't have that yet, then that's yours. So that makes sense. Yeah. So to make that happen, we need to be stable. We need to be really, really stable as a business person, in personal level, as an entrepreneur, and as a business itself, as an entity. Separate yan, di ba? But we drive it. We drive the business. First, how do we do that? How can we be stable? Now is the time we connect with ourselves. Connect, as I said earlier, stop, think, reset. Connect with yourself, reassess your goals. As a business owner, ang mindset mo, business owner ka, you have responsibility to yourself and to the business you committed to. And then invest in yourself. Invest in a mentor, do these trainings, and get feedback from your supplier, from your business partner, shareholder, employer, partners in life. You get feedback, and most importantly, this is what it's all about. It's all about mindset. You mindset yourself. Okay, I got into this. I will improve myself, and I will get through this, and I will focus on what I have to do. And self care and self love, of course, and some of us really tend to neglect this because we want to just over focus on business, on the problem sometimes. But so we need to look after ourselves so the business will benefit from it. Yourself, your exercise, your nutrition, and your mental health. Make sure you get sanity checks, that you're still focused. You don't get dragged with what's going on with the news and whatnot, what you cannot do. So that will sustain you. That will stabilize you at least for the next quarter. If you do that, that will stabilize you. And then the business will be ready to get through and be stable as well. So you've done that, your business plan. Next thing, talk to your staff. Talk to all the people in your circle in the business. Your HR, everyone's okay, everyone's supported, and then make the calendar. I believe in this, calendar is key. To-do list is not anymore a thing. You got a calendar, you got to schedule time to do things, time to meet, to talk to HR, to talk to accountant, talk to accounting, speak to top 10 customers, in think about marketing plan, review marketing plan, talk to supplier, negotiate. You calendar. These are things you calendar, not things to do. And as I said, marketing is everything. Marketing drives the revenue. Of course, financial is important, but marketing drives the revenue. What is remember the 3 circles, your unique selling proposition. That's key. And continue what is working. Do not discontinue if it's making profit. Do not discontinue if operations is sufficient. Do not discontinue a supplier if it's cost efficient, they don't have any service level issue, and things are going well. You have a good credit terms. Continue everything that is working. But stop everything that you cannot measure. As I said earlier, you have to go back to everything in numbers. You cannot manage what you cannot measure, whether that's financial, hindi mo yan mamamanage pag hindi mo yan nakikita. Marketing, your sales, you have to see it. You have to see the figures yourself and be on top of it. So make sure that's all stable. These checklists, stable, personal, business, you get through it. Now, ironically, talking about this COVID-19 crisis, in China, in Chinese, crisis is called Weiji. Weiji is, Weiji in Chinese means for every danger, there's an opportunity. And that's what I really want everyone, all of us, to see in this crisis, in this pandemic, that there is definitely an opportunity. during and after. For any, whatever business you have, there is an opportunity out there. And it's up to you how you convert that, how you see it first of all, and how you convert that. If it's going through, you're just gonna go back to normal, react and see see if it's gonna work out or not, or you go to the other path. You stop, think, redesign, reset. So I mean, it's obvious where you should go, unless you want to just be in your comfort zone. Recover. So after all those things, now you've made that decision. Now you have that mindset. Now you're ready. Now is the road to your recovery. What is working right now? You double that. As I said, do not stop what is working. You even double it. Focus on it. Focus on that USP. Focus on that one thing that will make you stand out. Strategy-wise, financial, branding, and efficiency in operations. And also, it's worth the risk. Try the things that you have never tried before in your business. So if you have, yeah, as I said, if, as an example, if you don't have a website, now is the time to have a website. If you haven't sold anything online or offer anything online, or even a contact query form online, now is the time to get onto it. And this is my challenge, and this is what my business coach is always. I also have my business coach, and it's worth it. It's worth the investment and the self-care that you get challenged. You always have to have, and I challenge you all from this, after this seminar, commit to it and set up yourself to your massive immediate action. And that's not easy, but it is a mindset, and that will take you to a next level of the business that will increase, will have income and make an impact. Now, at this point, after this seminar, we'll take Q&A, and we will be offering, I think, for the first 10 business owners to send an email to PTTC if you would like to be a part, and I take it as a challenge, to be a part of like a mastermind group or accountability group. So we will be a group of 10 business people. We submit our accountability to the group, like what is your MAI, what is your massive immediate action, and then if follow up natin yun sa isa't isa. We'll have a group. Okay, ako ang commitment ko for the next 6 weeks. Ito yung gagawin ko. And we will have accountability kasi tayo wala tayong boss. We're just accountable to ourselves and our employees and our partners and shareholders. This will drive you to be accountable for another people who doesn't have any investment on the business. But it's important, someone's driving you, someone's guiding you. And it's not just an individual, it's a group of business people as well. So we're giving a privilege after this to be a part, or just, I think we can only do 10 entrepreneurs, business people, to be a part of this. I think you need to email PTTC or send an email to the registration. Okay. At this point, after this seminar, to those who will be interested, I will be sending and sharing what are the best practices that and a benchmarking COVID safe plan, tawag natin dito. It is just a guide. There's quite a few pages. It is just a guide for us. An actual, kasi if you don't write it, nothing's gonna happen. Hindi mo matatandaan lahat. And hindi mo ma-execute. And you have to communicate this to your employees and business partners as well. So what it is it's a COVID safe plan. And why is it important? Because it's like your blueprint So may roadmap tayo, di ba? Ito yung blueprint natin. Ano ba yung checklist? Ano bang gagawin ko pag operate ko ulit sa Monday, for example? And how can you adopt? And how can you access more support from, example, DTI? So we will provide all these after the seminar to those who have registered. And feel free to cascade and help other. And my only request is pass it on if you feel that it's helped you. Pass it on to other people who will benefit. This is benchmark from other countries like us here in Australia. We're using this in New Zealand, and it's helped us small business owners. It's just a guide, and it's not it may not be applicable to all. Like hindi lahat ng portion nito applicable sa lahat, but there are really important portions there, especially adopting my business. So there's a form, there's a checklist, and how what are the steps, and my contact details will be displayed as well. So feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to guide you through it. And this is important because these two things keep you and your business and employee safe while operating in the GCQ, and also and the economic side of the business, how can you survive and sustain what we've just talked about? How can you execute those plans whilst this is happening? And that will get you through the adaptation stage and how you can make this your new normal. And also, we will be sending and sharing with you. We have summarized a lot, and we're very lucky. DTI, PTTC has been providing support. DTI is providing a lot of government support for the businesses. So we will also be sharing that it compiled in summary form, where to find these forms and the website links. Just to go back on the business, on the benchmarking COVID safe plan, you will have to change a lot of things in your businesses when you operate again. So these are like little things. Syempre, may social distancing na. Syempre, meron ng ganun. So this will really guide you in the execution of that. And then from there, you will be surprised. You will find out a lot of opportunities. And be open, be very open to it. You have to be hands-on in the execution and open your eyes and your senses to opportunities that can be out there. And as I said, yeah, we have summarized this, and we will send this as part of all the resources after this seminar. So the key, again, is strategy, execution, and again, of all the slides, and my challenge is really this: not on Monday, not on the weekend, but after this, go back to your notes, request for the copies of the materials, and just write your massive immediate action. Just write 10. Siguro 10 easily you will do straight away after this from everything what we've talked about. And that will trigger your action button and do it, and actually do it. If you need guidance, please reach out. If you have questions, please reach out. Thank you very, very much. And now I endorse you back to our host for Q&A.
All right, so thank you so much, Miss Jasmine Flores. Napaka-productive po talaga, and napaka-informative din nitong topic po na to at ng discussion na ginawa po niyo. So maraming salamat po, Miss Jasmine. So we are now opening the floor for questions. And by the way, I just have some announcements here. Kanina po, meron tayong poll question. So sa ating mga Zoom participants and ating FB participants, may poll po tayo na inilabas. At yung tanong po dito is, which business considerations would you most likely implement as you start to take the road to recovery? So ano po ba dito yung mga considerations nyo pag nag-start na po kayo ng inyong road to recovery? So ito po yung lumabas. Pareho po actually sa Facebook at sa Zoom. Nangunguna po yung embrace new technology. So that's communication with teams, customers, and professional contacts. So sa Zoom, 65%. Sa Facebook, we have 70%. Pangalawa po yung change business focus. Diversify products, market to meet the changing needs. So of course, alam naman natin na sooner, actually kahit nga ngayon, nasa new normal na tayo. So talagang magkakaroon din ng pagbabago yung mga businesses natin, yung focus. So for Zoom, 57% ang nakuha nun, and for Facebook, that's 60%. Pangatlo po yung enable changes to working patterns and job roles. So sa Zoom, 52% and 45% sa Facebook. Ayan. So maraming salamat po sa pagsagot ng ating poll question. And of course, gusto ko lang din pong batiin, yan, para tayo nasa radyo. Gusto ko lang din pong batiin yung mga viewers natin. We have from Pampanga, Antipolo, Pangasinan, Ifugao, Quezon Province, Bataan, Bulacan, Isabela, Cainta, Daet, Camarines Sur, and we also have from Cavite. And of course, we're international. Meron din po tayo from Hong Kong. At kasama rin natin yung ating mga kasamahan sa DTI. We have from DTI regional offices and negosyo centers. All right, so Ma'am J?
Yes, hi Bon. Thanks, Bon.
Yes, hello Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So also, by the way, correct lang po natin kasi a while ago may sinabi po si Miss Jasmine regarding nga po dun sa 10 emails na marireceive namin na i-coach po niya for, i-coach niya po personally. Tama po ba, Ma'am J?
Yes,
Yun, ayun po. So, yung 10 emails na isa-send po sa ating mga Zoom participants, pakisend po yun sa Q&A chat box.
Okay, correct.
Yun, so hihintayin po namin yun.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, Bon, sige, we can start with the question and answer. Again, thank you, Miss Jazz. And then, she's still here naman for the question and answer.
Yes.
So, start siguro with the Zoom question. And then after that, some of it will be coming from the FB questions. Right, Bon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So, I'll go with the first one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead po.
Okay, Miss Jazz, one of the question is, if my bottom line is okay as in today, is it advisable to reduce manpower? If I feel that my salespeople won't be able to reach to customers for face-to-face interaction. This is from Ms. Shekhar Jaday.
Thank you for the question. And thank you very much again, by the way. If overall, if you are in, I guess the first step is you assess your break-even point. You will have a new break-even point. All of us will have that as a business owner right now where we are. Break-even point is the point where your revenue is just enough to sustain your operations. And if that includes your salespeople, why not? Do not make them redundant. Why? Because they're a revenue generating role and you will need them on the long term. So with the distancing in place, there are many ways now, especially online meetings are now very popular. We have Zoom, we have CRM tools that's available, LinkedIn, connections. So there are ways to maximize these people. And not just that, but build a CRM, build a system that will help you sustain and keep your customers, especially your top customers. And these salespeople can give you that, can help you with that. Or and I guess it's for you. You will really be the right person to address that in terms of expense. If you see them as an expense, then yeah, that's the thing. It will you will have to think about their salaries and everything, you know. But ako, I see salespeople as a revenue generating role. So make the most of that, I guess. But first step, identify your break-even point right now, because that will help you. And if the salesperson's salary is still a part of their break-even point, break-even amount, then you can sustain them. You can keep them.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jazz. We have other questions regarding the PowerPoint presentation. Yes, we will be giving, yeah, okay. We will, to our participants, yes, we will giving you copy of presentation and also e-certificate once you fill up the client satisfaction feedback form. We will show it later so you can fill it up. And then, yes, please expect it. We will send it to you. Okay, Miss Jazz, another question, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is from Mr. Ray Repito. My question is, how can we, salon industry, will be able to take off gradually in the new normal if we are not allowed to open on a GCQ areas, in spite of our protocols and guidelines, which are most likely the same with the government guidelines, which we strictly abide, Hope you can enlighten us on this matter and might consider on our concern.
Well, that's a really valid question, and I can feel for you because I myself I'm missing my salon very very well. So, in the salon, that's a services type, yeah. Start looking at opportunity of maybe selling online products that's a salon related product, like because people now do a lot of DIY, do it yourself, diba? So just look into it. There's nothing wrong if it's something that can come out of the passion. Why not? But you have to tie it up with a strong marketing strategy, like come up with videos how to do it, how to DIY. Kasi yung content mo sa video na yon will drive you to your online shop. And they will buy it from you kasi kilala ka na salon eh. Because whilst that we are on this GCQ and you cannot do the services, I'm not sure in the Philippines if you're even allowed to do a home service, diba? Kasi it's not essentials. So, or maybe it's not time to operate. Build your content, rebuild your brand, retarget your market. Baka you need to retarget an upscale market. How do you do that? So rebrand mo yung logo mo, rebrand mo yung social media mo. Do a lot of content right now. Content meaning, what's your message? How do you do the simple DIY at home? But then again, you have to back it up with the product eh. Kasi the product will drive your revenue. And follower. Kasi yung followers mo will be your customers ultimately.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jazz. So maybe we can go to Facebook questions, Bon.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you po, Ma'am Jay. Meron din po tayo mga katanungan from FB Live. So we have from PJ Omictin. Yung tanong niya po is, how can small restaurant business recover from the pandemic? Will it be possible that we can allow dine-in but with social distancing? So yun po.
I am not in your local market. Here, I can tell you how we practice it here, and maybe you can propose this to your LGU. So here, we are allowed up to 10 people in a restaurant, in a cafe. So you still observe the 1.5 social distancing rule. And if you are operationally ready for that with staff and the facility, with the proper flooring lines and the queuing outside, then you can step up, submit a proposal to your LGU that we can operate because we are capable of executing this plan. Come up with the plan, show your layout, how you will execute. 10 people in a cafe is still social distancing. Before they enter, you have the hand sanitizer. There's touchless ordering system. Ikaw magpe-present, and pag in-approve nila, you're lucky enough and challenge the status quo. If they say no, not at all, no, may step up, do something, present something, and then they can get back. Okay, it could be an eye opener. Oh yeah, we can do this because you presented it like that, and it's a benchmark. Again, it's a benchmark. I can share that with you how we do, how other markets are already doing it.
I see. All right. So thank you, Miss Jasmine. Actually, ito rin po, napanood ko lang din to sa balita kagabi po. Yung Pasig City government, I think, inaalaw na po yung pagbubukas ng mga businesses nila. It's just that they need to have this notice to operate. So parang i-check din po kung if they are abiding or sumusunod sila dun sa protocol, lalo na yung mga social distancing, sinaayos ba nila yung kanilang businesses para maging operational pa rin siya despite the MECQ currently. So yun po.
Okay.
So tama yun, Miss Jasmine. Siguro dapat nilang i-observe pa rin yung mga protocols na yun.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
And tama din yun, Bon, kasi dapat alam natin kung ano yung mga guidelines ng ating mga LGU. Kasi na-mention sa Pasig, inaalaw na. So kung saan po tayong locality nandoon, we will check po kung ano po ang guidelines para po malaman natin kung pwede na tayong mag-operate.
Yes.
That's right.
Tama po. Okay. So ito po, may mga pahabol lang. Mukhang maraming gusto magpabate. Ayan. So may mga viewers din po pala tayo from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So yan, international talaga tayo. We also have from Tondo, Manila, Binyan, Nueva Ecija, and Davao. Ayan. Tapos, chinek ko rin po sa ating Zoom questions. Meron na po tayong mga email addresses na pumapasok. So later on, i-check po namin yung first 10 email addresses na i-mentor po ni Ms. Jasmine. Okay. So, yun po, more questions.
Yeah.
Go
I have a
ahead,
question again. Yeah. I have a question again from Zoom, Ms. Jas. The question is from Ms. Natalie Faye Pagkaliwangan. What businesses do you think will thrive after this pandemic?
So definitely a lot of online businesses. Whatever product is, even services, online is the way to go. So come up and think of what's your passion that you can do online, product or service. That's the main thing. And also nakita natin ang essential services, diba? So out of those industries, the essential services, healthcare, the support services within the healthcare systems, yan dyan ang it has to be recession proof after what happened, and you'll never know what's next, and no one knows how long will this be. So the key is for you to identify within the essential services. First, online, I said, online talaga, whatever industry. Second, essential services. Within that, what other industries that you are passionate about, then pursue that. And again, back it up with a good, strong, solid marketing and branding. So,
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Jas. Another one from Ms. Helen Besavilla. In the business of party need supplies, even going online seems to be not the focus of customers right now. Should it mean I will change my business?
it's worth looking at, and we were just talking about it. That's really, really good point, no? And it's an eye opener for you this time, these times of pandemic. You gotta have a new business model, maybe. So now that you're that retail shops may not be sustainable, going online, like taking it to a next level of e-commerce online. Kasi going e-commerce is also a whole new banana of things. It's high tech, it's technology, and you have to support that, and it's a big investment. And people are realizing now how important online is. So I really recommend to look at it. Take one step backward so you can take 5 steps forward. Look at it in that perspective. And if you have to rehash your whole business model according to that, then and maybe that's even better. Instead of paying rent for retail, invest in your technology on e-commerce, online shopping website.
Okay. Okay. Miss Jazz, this one. I think I like this question also from Mr. Joseph. Do you think drive-in movies or open-air cinemas will be good business to start?
Yes,
Is it
very,
possible
very.
in the Philippines? Okay.
Oo nga, that's true. Kasi it's good you mentioned and you asked that because here that's gonna be the way to go. I'm talking of
Okay.
Australia, yeah. So, and you know how it's like medyo maluluwag yung mga ano namin dito. So, we can really afford to have drive-in movies. And we already have that here. It's not as popular, pero ngayon because of the way things are, and yes, that is a really good venture. I told you, but something new you've never done before, some opportunities you can see. And yeah, given the proper strategy, LGU approval, distancing, yeah, that will take off. Kasi lalo na ngayon, kasi everyone wants to go out. Everyone gusto nilang ilabas, ipasyal talaga yung mga batang board na board sa bahay. Ano yung gagawin nila? That's still compliant with distancing. So that is a good strategy.
Correct. Thank you, Miss Jazz. So, malay naman nga natin, magkaroon na rin sa Pilipinas ng drive-in movies or open-air cinemas. Diba? So, this is the new normal. Yeah, hopefully.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good business. Thank you, Miss Jazz. This one, another one is from Miss Constancia Abay. Good afternoon. I'm in tailoring business, but during lockdown, face mask ang gawa namin. It is advisable if dito na kami mag-focus.
On the immediate, yes. Short term, yes. Very, very, yeah. It will be the new normal until no one in the world has yet a concrete, diba, shots like a vaccine. So in saying that, and even you have to now, even airline industry, all industries are requiring that, government. So it will be a really good market, at least on the next, I would say, 12 to 18 months. So capitalize on that. Put a lot of effort on that. Yun yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina na tatlong circle, di ba? Doon ka mag-focus kasi it will ramp up the business, it will make you more profitable, and will give you that immediate goal. And then after 6 months, stop and think ulit, then see if the market is responding well, then you can evolve. Maybe the whole outfit, the whole not just the mask, diba? Meron na ngayon yung buong outfit ng mga even airline crew. They're gonna change it. So there's a market there for a tailor business.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Jasmine. We also have questions from FB po ulit. So, may isang question po dito. As online business booming, paano po kumuha ng travel pass for my business product delivery since may bad experience sa mga courier? I think medyo local siya, pero baka mabigyan niyo po siya ng idea, Ms. Jasmine. This is from Sheila Katipunan.
I'm not sure of the local laws that we have there, but going GCQ, I guess it's gonna be more relaxed. So maybe review your system, come up with something that can support the delivery companies on the credibility and also like a waiver sort of the product that you have and the packaging to show that yes, you are complying, the processes are in place, and that sanitized. Lagyan mo lang ng little stamp, sanitized yung ano mo.
Yes.
Oo, kasi that will build credibility, of course, and give the peace of mind to our people doing the what you call that there, yung nagsastop. So Diba? They once you show that, and again challenge the delivery companies na okay, ako may stamp akong ganito, this is my proposed system, and show this to the authorities, this should get through, so walang disruption yung supply chain mo.
Yes. Yes po. So thank you, Miss Jess, for that. We also have a question here from Teresa Altea. Sabi naman po niya, what if for an art studio, what will you suggest for this kind of business?
Art studio?
Art studio, yes. Siguro parang yung gusto po niya malaman is, in this time of crisis, ano ba yung mga pwedeng or magandang gawin sa kanyang business na art studio?
Sa art studio, very exciting will be to come up with a tour, like a video of your arts, of your facility, of your studio, and a content about it. How you come up with that? What is the story behind your art studio? Put a lot of content right now, because that will build your fan base, but that will build your brand, and that will drive people to buy your artwork. Pero it has to be visual eh. So paggawa ka ng napakagandang video that will take you to the actual art studio, that will make that experience feel again, that wanting to go there when it's ready. Pero right now, use this time to use the video should speak about it, should make them feel that they're actually there. We have a lot of talented people. I have an outsourcing business. Everyone's in the Philippines, and they do a whole lot of really, really good product videos, content, website. And dito nga impressed sa mga sa produktong Pilipino. And I'm proud of that. I always promote that. So kaya my logo is actually Philippine flag colors, di ba? Kasi nga I'm always proud that our talents are really good. So paggawa ka ng napakagandang video sa mga local talents natin dyan, that will really show your art studio, and build content from it. Your story, your brand, bawat isang masterpiece, build a story about it. Make a marketing social media plan about it.
Yes, exactly. So para at least ma-experience din po nila, 'di ba? Para yun yung magiging way para bumenta.
Parang virtual tour.
Yeah, exactly, yun. Virtual tour po. Ayun. So, since nabanggit nyo nga rin, Miss Jasmine, na dyan sa ibang bansa, since nasa Australia kayo, mabenta rin yung mga produkto natin mga Pinoy. May isang question po dito from Jocelyn Ong Perez. Sabi niya, do you think that fashion accessories, housewares, and like made of natural materials will still have a market abroad?
Oh yeah, definitely. The straight answer is yes. We already have, and I'm sure Saitem, which is next door.
Saitem.
Yeah, because I know I've had meetings with them too, and a lot of the product features we have are mostly overseas, Southeast Asian countries and Philippines. I'm always proud, and I really encourage you to use this time again, be market competitive, not just locally, but globally. So globally competitive in all aspect of your brand, product, supply chain, social media, promotion, and the quality, of course. So the answer is yes. And now is really a good time. And we're always excited. We follow the season. So winter, spring, summer, fall. Each season we change. We change everything: accessories, house, homeware, even couches. That's how it is. In US, ganun din. In New Zealand and in Europe, ganun din. So there's a huge market for you. Especially kung ganyan ang passion mo, there is a market. And we have a lot of resources. PTTC has a lot of trainings. It's an industry we support, sa PTTC. So and also DTI has a lot of support systems that can and then take advantage of all this.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Jess. Yeah, I agree with you. Naniniwala ako na paggawang Pinoy, talagang magaganda ang mga produkto natin. And yes, you're right. We have the SITEM for it's also agency, attached agency of the Department of Trade and Industry. They're helping para dun sa mga exposition natin sa abroad. So yeah, tama ka doon, ma'am. Talagang paggawang Pinoy, maganda, siguradong di kalidad. Okay. So another question, Miss Jazz, from Jonah Del Raksag. How can a travel agency survive in this time of pandemic? Should we close our office to cut on expenses?
Again, the immediate answer is online. And you know, this will pass. Everything will pass. We know that. It's a matter of how do you survive and how you get through. This time, immediate, it may not be really perfectly looking for the travel industry. However, it's a good time suppress yung travel ng mga tao eh. Sigurado, after this, it will boom. So be ready for that. And how to be ready now is what you should be doing. But in saying that, come up with promotions right now that post-pandemic, reserve now, and then travel 2021. That's a good start. Or just even register, gather the database, come up with promo that will make you get that sure market, and then make them fly next year or whatever. At least na-capture mo na. Kasi, di ba, yun yung natural tendency natin. Pag na-suppress yung need mo to travel, to go out, as soon as mag-travel, lahat yan maghahanap na. And even right looking for where to go next year or even the year after. So yes, maybe think again, go back to your break-even point. If you can afford your OPEX, operational expense, sustain it. If not, look at cutting costs and invest online. Invest on the free ones, social media, put your strategy or marketing program, even as far as 2021, even as far as quarter 4 2020. Have some local travels. Total, it doesn't mean that you cannot travel to Baguio. I mean, by end of the year, by Christmas, people will look at that. So, time to go out of the comfort zone and come up with some package travels. Kasi that's the way to go na. Kasi you have, and also I know in the travel industry, people are doing it DIY. So what add value to it? What makes you drive people to go to you still without doing it online? Customer service. Kasi syempre, they don't want to have the hassle of doing their own Airbnb, doing all their local arrangements. So add value to your promos, to what you do.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Jazz. Another one from Maria Isabel Punzalan. Good day. My question po is, if we already have plenty of distributors online, would you suggest of having our official store online, or better let them do the online selling and us just supplying them?
So that's good, and that's good that you have that system in place. And it means that you've geared up for this. It means that you've planned really well. Now, go back to your objective. Go back if what your system is giving you right now achieves your objective at the very least. Don't change what is working, di ba? Kasi ngayon hindi maganda mag-change eh. And you don't want to disrupt a stable, sustainable system and income. However, in saying that, on a long-term strategy, you got to think of the value of your brand also. So you got to have your own strategy how to scale up your own portal, your own system. So you can do that planning on the side, but again, stop and think and see if this current distributors is really sustaining your needs, your requirements, your minimum requirements, your revenue goals. If not, then yes, you come up with a lateral plan, like sabayan mo rin yun. At the same time, if it's not really giving you that revenue goal, not sustaining you even, then yes, again, scale up, come up with your own, and add value. Make sure if you're gonna do that, there's a value added to what you're gonna do. Put something in there that will make the end customer and consumer drive it to you more. But that's a critical decision because it's working right now. So there are two ways to look at it, short term and long term.
Okay, thank you. I hope our participants understand na alam po namin na marami kayong questions, but I hope you understand that we cannot answer it all. But then again, we will send this question to Miss Jazz. Right, Miss Jazz, now you can answer
Yes,
them.
I can
Yeah.
answer them on
Okay.
email.
Yeah. So I will have last three questions from the Zoom, and one later will have three questions from FB. But before that, Miss Jazz, gusto ko lang itong basahin from Jenny. This is not a question actually, but listening and watching from London too. Jasmine was my schoolmate in Siena College.
Hello.
Okay. So thank you for giving a nice presentations. I'm new here. Ayun. Siguro pag sinend namin sa iyo yung mga question, Miss Jasmine, baka magkakaroon pa kayo ng bonding time ni Miss Jenny when we send you the question, the
Yeah.
list of questions.
Please connect with me on social media. I'm really happy to connect.
Okay. So this one is a nice question also. What 5 top business concept thrive in your area in this time of community quarantine, Miss Jazz?
As in telling you business, like
I think top 5 businesses thrive. I think in Australia.
right now, as I said, the online business is really booming, whatever that is. So the online business is a good if it a type of business, yeah, tama ba? Type of business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that type of business is really booming. As I said,
Sorry, yeah.
anything
Top five top business concept.
business concept, yeah, yun. So anything online, there are a lot of platforms there that you can invest for as low as even $200 that will get you to an actual, like a mini Amazon fulfillment store. You have the product, you have the online store, you have everything kasi nga they just need people to get into their system. So that's one, and try to do homework about that. I'm not saying everything there is successful, but you can look at those opportunities. There are really work opportunities there. Amazon mismo, they provide these entrepreneurs opportunities to be a part of their system, of their supply chain. My other business here is automotive industry, and we know automotive is it's the behind the scene, diba? Behind the scene of everything, and that's been very sustainable. And especially I know in the Philippines we have more the motorcycles, diba? And these are industries na you never thought are really actually very stable, kasi it's supporting everybody. It supports the healthcare workers, the government, the logistics companies. And I was gonna say the next is logistics companies. If you are in a position to get into it, especially again in the Philippines now we have all the Lala Move, all the Grab deliveries, logistics itself, but you have to position it in a way na meron kang differentiation. So anything related to supply chain that's recession proof. As I said, automotive, whether that's new, servicing, repair, all and also the health industry or a support kagaya ng ating Taylor kanina. Anything that supports that healthcare industry, pag supplier ka niyan, or there is something you can add value to it, and that's an industry to target. Marketing, I would say, kasi lahat ng negosyo kailangan ng marketing. Kung may passion ka dyan, and creative ka, and may skill ka, and you're educated as well, kasi there is a science on marketing, there is a theory behind all these things we do. So, and if you're educated enough, then yeah, go for it. Kasi social media, content, branding, and it's a different level now, unlike before. I know there's not so much on advertising right now, but there are many platforms. So, yan yung mga industries na you focus on.
Okay. So
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Miss
Miss Jazz.
Jasmine.
So another one from Mr. Russell Bangog.
Okay.
I am with the sound and lights rental industry. What can you suggest we can do now that we are deemed to be the last to open? Any suggestions? Thank you.
As in the likes of ano to, Airbnb, no? Like I know that is right. That is really affected in the same way the travel industry is affected. So it's very similar to that. Um, long term, of course, long term. Usually rental industry is you have the short term, you have the Airbnbs. Now you got to find a market that will still have that need, and at the same time they will find a more stable client base. Maybe it's about time you go corporate rather than B2C. Kasi B2C, hit and miss eh. Antay ka sa online kung sino mag-inquire sa'yo sa Airbnb or diba, sa mga sites mo. But now you have to level up, repackage your whole company as I'm a provider of service apartments to corporate, expats, executives traveling from different province. But ni-rebrand mo lang, yun pa rin naman yun eh. Yun pa rin naman yung facility mo eh. Pero ni-rebrand mo kasi medyo upscale ka na. Service apartment ka, may brand kang bago, and you cater to corporate. Corporate people will talk to you because now they want the guarantee na it's safe, it's compliant to COVID sanitization and everything. It's whatever value you add to it. You have to add value. You have to rebrand and find a new market. Try things that you've never done. Again, this is not permanent. This is something you can look at opportunity and see if it will sustain you without compromising your assets, without compromising your core business. So that is something that you can look into.
I think one last, thank you, Miss Jazz. I think one last for me, no?
Okay, ma'am. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sige. So, from Mr. Selahuddin Hashim, how to address logistic challenges, especially in rural communities?
Logistics. Did you
Yeah,
say logistics?
yeah, logistics challenges.
Um, as far as I know, logistics and supply chain in the Philippines is not. I mean, it's affected, but it was considered as essential. I know there will be disruption because of the checkpoints. Now the key is operation planning because logistics is really operational efficiency, and you gotta look on your current system. What your staff is doing, your drivers are doing, or your dispatch people are doing right now, and maybe you have to really step back again and implement changes to it. Instead of making them report on the hour, make them report half an hour before to make sure they're sanitized, they're safe, they're aware, they had a pre-work briefing, and they know that we're going this way. There's our 5 checkpoints ahead, so that you plan back. Kasi when you're in that industry, I think the critical success factor is really operations. It's not everything else will drive you, marketing and finance, pero yung delivery mo is the operations. So I guess planning is really crucial for you right now, as in the actual dispatch planning. You gotta change, and if you haven't, you have to do it. You have to really see what's your current diagram of all your dispatches, and from there you will identify areas of the delay. And because you didn't plan it, no one did, but now you have time. Maybe get them to report an hour ahead just to be able to make a quick pre-work briefing, and someone's looking for the news. Now, there will be 10 checkpoints today because of critical COVID related issues. So that will help you. So again, it's going back to planning and doing your homework, and you have to implement it consistently day by day, so that the drivers and the dispatch people are also switched on, and they know, okay, things have changed, so I have to do what I was told to do. I have to report an hour ahead. I have to be sanitized. I have to be aware of my news of what's going on in the traffic. My GPS system has to be fully connected with my manager, supervisor, so I'm aware where to reroute, and so on. You have to communicate. So I guess you have to stop and really look at your operations efficiency, do some training and planning.
Thank you,
Okay.
Miss Jazz.
All right. Thank you, Miss Jasmine. Thank you, Miss J, for giving us those questions from Zoom. So ito po, may mga ilang katanungan pa tayo from FB Live. So isa dito yung medyo nakapukaw ng attention ko kasi relate po ako dito eh. This is about hairdressing kasi ngayon po medyo mahaba na rin yung buhok ko. Alam natin napakainit, di ba? So hindi ako makapagpagupit po. So ngayon may isang tanong dito from Miss Joy Intal. Siguro rephrase ko na lang yung tanong niya po, no? Should we reconsider hairdressing as an essential one? Kasi according kay Miss Joy Intel, sabi niya, we have received several requests from for haircut from hospitals for their frontliners, with the hospital director saying their frontliners need it for better self-esteem and for grooming. So what's your take on this, Miss Jasmine?
Oh yeah, I guess essential as such, like it depends how everyone's everyone's perspective. Yes, ako din personally, I really take it as an essential,
Yes.
like manicure is essential. We know that, but then unfortunately wala eh. So we've been suffering from that, pero I agree. As a support, these are our, I would say, unsung heroes, di ba? Hindi sila nakikita, they're on the background. But then, to operate efficiently and to keep our sanity, to be motivated, and it's something that you can actually offer to a hospital director and make it an employee promotion. Like, okay, on Saturday afternoon, everyone, those who are available, post shift, we have a salon at the emergency corner. Then you make a really good proposal of how you will execute and still comply and go out of your normal comfort zone and your normal operation, and maybe they can consider and target these essential industries. And as I said, tayo yung mga nasa background eh. As I said, I'm in the automotive industry, like the mechanics, these salons, the tailors, the cafe who provides the coffee. These are our unsung heroes, and they're not seen on the limelight, diba? So that's a really good thinking. Come up with a solid proposal, target these essential, the healthcare industry, for example, the logistics companies, they are still operating 100%. The utility companies, the banks, they need to be, and I'm sure the HR people will be happy to consider little something freebie for their staff like that. So yes, not really essential as such, but yes, they can be a good motivation support system to our essential workers.
Yes, okay. So tama po yung Ms. Jasmine, and hopefully napapanood din to natin mga kinauukulan kasi ngayon po sa if I'm not mistaken, hindi po rin po kasama yung mga barber salon sa bubuksan or mag-ooperate after ng MECQ. So sana ma-consider po nila to, di ba? So yun, thank you Ms. Jasmine. We have another, or probably this is the last question na lang din po. From Romel Anyonuevo Natanawan, what can you say about virtualizing tour packages? How can it bring in revenues for tour operators? Or this is about tourism. Alam din po natin na malaki yung impact itong pandemic sa tourism. So what's your take on this?
That's right. So tourism, as I said, as a whole, in the same way, airlines and the Airbnbs and the hotel industry, it's really a full stop operations right now. However, if you're in that industry and it's your own business, I guess it's more of how you take it to the other side. So, tapos na to eh. And we know, as I said, and I keep repeating it, and put it in your mindset, this is not permanent. So, what will I do? Tapos na yon eh. So, what will I do in the next chapter? Come up with your positioning, what you really want to target. Go back to all of your historical data. Where were you successful and capitalize on that? If you were successful on Europe tours, Japan tours, capitalize on that and do your homework. Do what the industry is doing. I mean, is what the industry is planning to do after that pandemic, what the airlines are going to do, because it will affect you, and then capitalize on that. Say, Japan will be big as an example. I'm not sure. So evolve with that. Or Korea has been your most successful market in the last 6 months. Capitalize on that. And also come up with something better, come up with payment plans, come up with family packages, come up. So it's all about promotions. So ilista mo lang lahat, pero balikan mo yung figures and do your homework. Industry check, what your competition, what your industry is offering, and what were you successful of, and what you really want to do, where you want to focus, and have that immediate, okay, by September, before launch of Q4, September, dapat meron na ako. Ito na. Or call all your customers. Everyone, literally 100%, lahat ng nag-book. Hello, we will operate. We're still alive. We want to hear from you. I'll update your details. I'll send you our next promotion. Those things, you'll be surprised. Yeah, magdedebo yung anak ko sa January, papabook ako, papakota ako. You never know. So now is the time to do it. Make them excited, because everyone's so down, unsure and everything. Change the mindset. Make them excited about what's going to happen post-pandemic.
Okay, so yun. So sana nasagot po yung tanong ni Sir Romel. Okay, so I think that's the last question that we have. Pero check ko lang po
Okay.
Para at
Bon,
least...
i-add ko lang ha.
Yes, ma'am.
Meron po tayo mga question again regarding dun sa mga loan. We advise you po to visit the DTI website, the Department of Trade and Industry website. Nandun po nakalagay lahat yung mga government assistance para po meron kayong idea kung sino po ang inyong pwedeng puntahan. And then dun po sa mga question ninyo na, again po sa presentation, PowerPoint presentation, magbibigay po kami sa inyo ng PDF copy once you fill up the client satisfaction feedback form. And then dun po sa mga nag-send na kanilang mga email address, we will get back to you dun po sa top 10. We will get back to you. We will email you. Nakasisi po si Ms. Jazz. And then from that one, we will start with the parang conceptualization or mentoring. So please wait for our email. Okay, thank you, Bon.
All right, thank you, Giselle. So I think that wraps up our webinar for today. So once again, we would like to thank you, Ms. Jasmine Flores, for this informative webinar. We're looking forward for more talks together with you dito sa PTTC. And I'm sure all our MSMEs, lahat ng viewers natin from Facebook and Zoom, lahat sila natuwa, and for sure marami silang nakuha from this webinar. So once again, thank you so much, Ms. Jasmine Flores.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Please connect with me and I'll help when I can. Please pay it forward. Help also who you can help, and empower and motivate, and mindset. We'll get through this.
That's right, Ms. Jasmine. All right, so we're now approaching the closing of our webinar. To give us a closing remarks, may we have Ms. Giselle Sunga once again from the Philippine Trade Training Center. Ms. Giselle.
Thank you, Bon. And I agree with you, Bon. Ms. Jazz, this is not the first and last. Hopefully, we can have you again in our upcoming webinars. Anyway, we will communicate with you, and we'd like, in behalf of PTTC, of our executive director, Sir Nestor Palabiab, our DED, Deputy Executive Director Nelly Nita Dillera, at lahat po ng bumubuo ng PTC staff. Nagpapasalamat po kami sa inyo, Ms. Jasmine. And of course, to our participants, so our MSME. Again, maraming pong salamat. Sana po ay madami kayong natutunan. And hopefully, you will watch again our upcoming seminars, our upcoming webinars. Alam po na madami po kaming naka-line up na mga offer para sa inyo. So hopefully, we will see you again in our upcoming webinars. Again, maraming pong salamat. Pwede ba magpa-shoutout? Pwede, no? So magpapasalamat din po ako sa team ng Mark It, kay Arnold. Ito po yung laging mga nasa back-end natin. Si Arnold, si Judith, si Joseph, of course si Bon, si Roland, and of course special mention to Mia Karasig. So yun po, maraming pong salamat sa ating mga participants. Kay Miss Jasmine, of course. See you po again sa ating upcoming webinar. After this, we will show you po the client satisfaction feedback form where you can fill it up. And then Bon also will say something. He will promote something for our next webinar po. Okay, again, thank you po. Maraming pong salamat.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Giselle, for that. So, of course, we would like to thank once again our MSMEs kasi of course, this webinar will not be possible kung wala kayo. Alright? Kahit naman mag-live kami dito ng mag-live pero walang nanonood, wala rin, di ba? So, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. So, meron po kaming mga upcoming webinars pa. And we hope to see you there as well, joining. So we have on May 26, State of the Global Halal Ecosystem Amid COVID-19. So that's going to be at 3 p.m. On May 29, we also have digital payments for MSMEs in COVID-19. So that's going to be at 10 a.m. to 11:35 10 a.m. to 11:35 a.m. So later, ipapakita rin po yung mga promotional materials for that. So para at least makuha nyo yung mga detalye. And don't forget to also fill out the customer survey feedback, customer satisfaction feedback survey para makuha nyo rin yung inyong e-certificates. And for those who are asking for presentation materials, that will also be sent to you. Okay? So I think that's all for now. We hope to see you again for our next webinars. This has been your host for today, Bon Jovi Australia, and see you soon. Thank you so much.